director of Mortal Kombat. The Neo Geo Pocket Color lives again, and PlayStation has shown off a bunch of cool indie games to look forward to. All that and the latest and everything cool today in the Rundown. Welcome to the Rundown, everybody. Hope you're all having a great day today. Happy Hump Day, happy Wednesday. This is the Rundown Live, and it's going out to Robert Tolan, who was the first one in the room. We've got some very fun news to get to today. I've had some time to check out a little bit of the new Mortal Kombat movie. I've been in touch with Warner Brothers, and they've connected me with not only the director and the producer, but they've given me a little taste of the film. So let's talk about that right now with Robert Tolan's Rundown. Now, we've all seen this very cool trailer that has hit, and one of the things that I picked up from talking with Todd Garner, who's a producer, and also Simon McQuoid, who is the director of the film, is that they really wanted to go for authenticity with this movie. It was really important to both of them and to everybody involved to connect with all of the fans that are out there. And they really benefited from movies like Deadpool and Atomic Blonde and John Wick and Black Panther from, allowing these guys to cast an international group of people that were really competent as fighters, but also maybe not marquee names and super famous all around the world, but gave the characters an air of legitimacy, and they could also handle all of their combat moves. Todd Garner mentioned that there is one scene in there which has about 30 different moves that are choreographed in one take, and these actors could pull that off. So they're a lot more than just actors. The movie really is supposed to be a martial arts movie as opposed to just a video game movie. There was a lot of hesitation at Warner Brothers about investing so much into a quote-unquote video game movie, but all of the filmmakers, everybody behind the scenes was able to kind of show them that the audience was out there. People wanted an R-rated film that really honored and respected all of the incredible, history of these characters and this game series, and people just wanted something modernized and brand new. But, of course, there was also an element of kind of starting fresh as well, because there has been really phenomenal Mortal Kombat work in the past. Everybody loves that classic movie. And, yes, the classic Mortal Kombat theme song is going to be a part of the new Mortal Kombat film, which is kind of crazy. But, obviously, there was some attention paid to the people out there that may not be super familiar with Mortal Kombat. And, in fact, Todd Garner, the producer, says, if you don't know anything about the game, what's the best way into this movie and what's the most entertaining way to bring just the regular audience into the movie? And we said, let's go back to the beginning and let's show people the emotional story. Let's get people invested in these characters, which makes a tremendous amount of sense. And we also got a chance to connect with Simon McQuoid, who is a first-time director. And what's interesting about him is that he actually has some video game experience. He worked on Halo commercials in the past. He worked on this incredible Long Live Play commercial. You guys remember this from the PlayStation 3 era, where he combined all kinds of different characters from the PlayStation universe into a really compelling series of spots. And it was surreal to see it was a surreal thing to see this commercial and to see all these actors kind of bring these different characters to life. It was really wonderful. This is where all of these characters honor Michael, the player, and how they Michael brought all of their adventures to life, which I thought was really cool. But Simon McQuoid was obviously very invested and aware in the passion that players have for Mortal Kombat. And so what he says is video games are really important and they really matter to the fans, and there's a reason why people are really passionate. Your brain literally goes there and lives and breathes it. I know that feeling from playing games a lot. It was why I kept saying, it's what I kept saying to everybody, to respect the material, respect the characters. These have to be the best version of these characters that have ever been seen, which is that's a pretty high bar to kind of shoot for right there. But that gives you a sense of the pressure that was involved, on bringing this to the big screen, and everybody's kind of commitment to try to make this something special. And I think what we've picked up on from the trailer is that there is this, this awareness, right? I mean, the world has changed since the mid 90s when video game movies were a kind of a weird novelty and people just looked at it as a licensing experiment. Now there's just so much built-in awareness for these properties and these characters. One of the things that Todd Garner kept telling me was that he came from Disney and he just had mad respect for what Kevin Feige and Bob Iger and all of the creative people behind the MCU have been able to do. I'm sure every producer on earth has mad respect for Kevin Feige at this point, but they've been able to go off and connect tangentially at least with all of these characters and deliver all of these really cool stories in a bunch of different directions and satisfy huge chunks of the audience out there, the comic book super fans, but also people that are new to superhero movies. And they want to do the same thing with Mortal Kombat. We don't know for sure if that's what's going to be the case. I don't know. I've only seen the first opening bit, and I'll just explain a little bit to you. I don't want to spoil too much. I've got a tiny little taste of a clip of it as well. But the opening bit really zeroes in on Sub-Zero and Scorpion, the Scorpion clan and the Sub-Zero clan and their rivalry. And there is kind of a heartbreaking opening that kind of really focuses on an emotional core, an emotional center, and it plays to their rivalry and their hatred for each other, and it feels cool. And an incredibly violent fight sequence as well. I've got a tiny little taste of it right here. Warner Brothers shot this out, so I'm going to share this with you guys right now. Close your eyes if you don't want to see anything from the new Mortal Kombat movie. So the scene that I saw played out a little bit longer than that, and it was cool. It was well done. This is Simon McCoy's first time directing a feature film, so he's got a lot of work. He's an acclaimed a commercial director, but there's obviously a real desire to prove himself here, and this is a big deal. I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait to catch up with Ed Boon and John Tobias down the road, and we can talk about it. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen a little bit, but I will definitely be back with a review on that. Something else that I'm looking forward to reviewing is, in a totally different vein, is the Neo Geo Pocket Color Collection. SNK shot me out the trailer today. They are going back in time, and they're bringing back a bunch of these little tiny cartridges on this little tiny handheld system, but it's for the Nintendo Switch. So everything has been digitized and kind of reformatted and reset up. Now, I took a look at Match of the Millennium. I actually streamed it last week on the channel, and it was awesome. This is what it looks like when you're playing the game. They actually modeled the Neo Geo Pocket Color, and they put it into the sequence. And all of the characters are, big-headed, chibi looking, so a little super deformed, cutesy. Everything's two-button, but there's still a lot of nuance in the gameplay and the mechanics. These were fighting game masters. This is what a huge chunk of what SNK focused on, was just making all of these awesome classic fighting experiences. They've got all of the the pings and the sort of low bit music, all of the chiptune type music that's in there. But you really get into the experiences, and of course they're adding some new games into this collection as well. Some Metal Slug. There's 10 games in the collection. A bunch of these have already been released as standalone. But I'm gonna get a review code for this. I'll stream some more of this. Really excited to dig into this series. I have a bunch of these carts for a Neo Geo Pocket Color. You can play them in a bunch of different ways too. You can zoom up and just make the background disappear and just focus on the games. But they also rendered models of the packaging, which is so cool. And I love this. I love this handheld machine. I thought it was I still do. I think it's awesome. I have it just sort of sitting right over here. But you can play them in a bunch of different ways, and it's like a love letter to the SNK universe out there, which is really cool. SNK is really good at finding ways to get people back into their archive. I really dig what SNK does there, and I'm looking forward to playing the Neo Geo Pocket Color Collection. Also, PlayStation today had a bunch of stuff to show us in the indie department. They had a little showcase today, and They had 7 different games that they showed off. They had a VR experience, but they wanted to show off Disco Elysium, which was a huge success in the indie world out there. I remember Ben Silverman raving about that experience. There's a game, a puzzle type game where you play with food called Noor. There was a really cool coloring book experience called Chicory, which honestly I think this is my favorite. It just looks super cute. There's obviously there's always adventure type experiences when indie developers start sort of imagining what they want to create, especially in these 3D spaces. Operation Tango looks like it's going to be fun as well. This is asymmetrical spy type mechanics. Heavenly Bodies looks super cool, kind of like a picture book or a pop-up book type of mechanics, which is amazing. And the Puzzling Places game is the VR experience where it's a 3D puzzle. It's not just a two-dimensional puzzle where you're finding all the pieces. You're actually building everything. But I think my favorite is this Chicory experience. And I like it because I always dig video games where you're bringing life and color back to environments, and that seems to be the way that you solve puzzles in this game. Is you've got this little paintbrush mechanic, and you're painting around to see the world in front of you. I also love the sort of little dot print kind of quality on what looks like pages. It has a really cool 2D aesthetic to it, but makes you kind of appreciate how much we need color in games and color in our world. I'm looking forward to playing this one, but I'm also really looking forward to sitting back on the couch and digging back into Disco Elysium. I checked it out on the PC. It's kind of like a detective tale, and you're going around and you're interrogating people and getting into conversations with people, really in-depth, detailed conversations. As you can see, beautiful art as well. It just looks like you're kind of navigating through paintings, and you're going to meet all kinds of twisted characters. Really cool experience. If you haven't checked this one out, definitely look forward to playing Disco Elysium, and I think it comes with all the DLC and everything as well. I'm surprised it's not on PlayStation 4. Maybe this is kind of like the PS5-ized version of this game, but I do want to check this game out again. Maybe I'll stream it here when it comes out. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for the rundown today. I'll be back with a regular rundown tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to give a big special shout out to all of our sponsors and our sponsor, the Gaming Stadium, which has been a great supporter of the rundown at Vic's Basement. Thank you so much. And to all of our subscribers and to all of our EPN members, you guys are incredible. We'll see you tomorrow with a brand new rundown. Until then, play forever. All right, I'm trying something different now with the streams, because it's weird to just do the rundown and then disappear, but it's also weird for me to do 2 different streams. So we're going to do EPN plays after the rundown live, but it's also strange to do the rundown live and then to kind of break it up with conversation. But that's what this is all about. So I gave you guys the news. That was the latest news. I wanted to talk a little bit about Mortal Kombat, something that I didn't put into the rundown, but I'll do for you guys because this is a little bit more casual here with EPN Plays. Warner Brothers sent me out a little goodie bag of Mortal Kombat stuff to kind of hype us up with talking to the director and the producer. And I guess this is kind of like a on-the-fly unboxing here. But it's pretty cool. I mean, this is a great box. It's a great MK box. I think that's probably my favorite part. But I do dig this little mini Mortal Kombat game. I haven't checked it out. I haven't popped it out of the box yet. Maybe it'll live back there with my classic arcade machines. And then they sent me some booze. Well, they didn't send me the booze. They sent me the cocktail mixes for a gin and tonic and for an old fashioned. And they also, what is this? This is a salty Paloma, like a made in Toronto cocktail mixes. They really wanted me to get drunk. But I haven't had time. I've been very busy the last little while. And then I've got an ice sphere, which I think I can put some water into, and then I can go into the drink and survive in there, which is really cool. But thank you, Warner Brothers. This is a nice little goodie bag, goodie box of Mortal Kombat stuff. And I did enjoy the opening to the sequence, but it was really cool to chat with the filmmakers behind the movie. Again, this new format for streams is awesome. Oh, thank you, Goku. I mean, I'm one person, right? So it's a little bit different, like when you go to Kind of Funny or even the Easy Allies folks, where they've got like a schedule all day long and they stop one show and they start another show. It's a little different when it's one guy in the basement. You know, I try to make the shows and the content as fun as I can for you guys, and yes, worthwhile for you as possible. But I just don't know if I can do the stop-start thing. I do like this idea, though, of having a streaming thing, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the rundown out and make it a separate video for people that couldn't tune in live here. It turned out pretty good last week, so I'm going to do the same thing again today. But thank you, Goku. And why don't we jump in and play some games, because that's what we're going to do. And I'll chat. You guys have any comments for me? Definitely go all caps for me. That really helps. And let's get into this, okay, you guys? So I'm going to go picture-in-picture. There we go. We'll start with a little Crash Bandicoot 4. This is all on the Nintendo Switch. I'm going to put my headphones in. So I've got Crash 4. We'll play this for a little while so you guys can check this out. I've been playing it on the PlayStation 5 as well, and it's pretty slick. I'm going to put this on, but keep the volume low. Let me know how it all looks and sounds, and let's play. All right. I used to love reviews on the run. Thank you, MMA6049. I love when people just discover this. I don't know how you get here. I don't know if it's from my tweet or what, but I love when new people come and join us. Mostly, not for me, but for the people that you are interacting with in the chat room. Everybody that's here it goes way back with EP, but also knows a ton about games and is super passionate, super friendly. So make sure you communicate with everybody in here. It's awesome. Comment, I saw an article in the official Dreamcast magazine I got in the mail on Monday about EP debuting in the U.S. Funny enough, Spider-Man was on the cover. That's awesome, Blair Farrell. Yeah, we had a bunch of magazine ads back then. We had a deal with Insight Magazine. We worked with EGM. We worked with Next Generation. Those were awesome days. It was super cool because a lot of those game magazines inspired me to create the pitch for Electric Playground. Hold on, I needed that. Been talking mile a minute, yapping. Okay, so Crash Bandicoot on the Nintendo Switch. I played this a little bit, and it's very impressive. They did a great job on this port. Now, obviously, it's not 4K and 60 frames a second like it is in next gen, but I think you're going to agree. And this is kind of familiar to longtime Crash fans. This looks like a great carryover from the classic Crash days, but obviously everything modernized with the models and stuff and some of the texture details. But it fits kind of the design ethos of where we've come from Crash. But what's interesting is where even this level takes us to. And boy, it's an excellent game. Oh my goodness. I've been having a blast playing it on Switch and also jumping onto PlayStation 5 because I upgraded. I had a PS4 code and I upgraded to PS5. That's free, by the way, if you have Crash on, I think, Xbox One or PlayStation 4. You can upgrade to the new machines, and it makes a difference. 60 frames per second, 4K, looks beautiful. Blade Blur, yes, it is an excellent game, but you're biased, buddy. For those that don't know, Blade Blur's on the QA team over at Toys for Bob and helped to get this game out the door. Good work, my friend. Can't imagine the stress on playing a game like this well, because I certainly don't. I think this game looks too good on the Switch, Ethan Jory says. It is quite remarkable, isn't it? I mean, it is a gorgeous, gorgeous rendering of this really detailed and beautiful game. They did a great job. I don't know, well, Blade Blur can answer this. Was this all done in-house at Toys for Bob? Or was this something that you sent out to a port house? Are we going to get a review of the first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier? You will tomorrow. And I just did a spot for CNN. I'm going to be in their Hollywood Minute, I think. That's what I understand. Talking about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier this weekend, which is surreal. I can't say anything. That's all I can say is I can say something tomorrow. So I'll be talking about that. I still don't have access to Justice League, so I may not have Justice League tomorrow, which was my plan. But I can't wait to talk about that. I've been very. My head's been swirling with all the stories and things that I've been consuming and getting ready to talk about, and all the editing that I've been doing. This has been a couple of crazy days for sure. It's a good time to be a nerd. Lots to talk about. Let's see. Hey Vic, lots of love from Toronto. I've been watching since it was you and Tommy doing EP on TV in the 90s? Question mark. Yep, it was the 90s. 1997 is when we launched on television across Canada and down the west coast of the U.S. And then in 2001, well, we did I think a deal with Space through the Chum folks in 1998. So we were on Space every week. And then in 2000, we did a deal for 2001 with Discovery Science, and so we were on every week through 2001 on Discovery Science, and then we did a deal with G4, launched Judgment Day, which was reviews on the run in the States in 2002 on G4, and just kept growing and growing and growing. And people have found our content in every different form and in lots of different places, which is awesome. Lucky to have me. Thank you, Rathless. You're the best. Blade Blur trying to get the or Sam I Am 111 trying to get the inside dirt. Is the in-house team porting Tony Hawk 1+2 to the Switch? Blink once for yes and twice for no. Yeah, I had to make some space on my PS5, so I deleted Tony Hawk 1+2. Really not digging the lack of storage space on the PS5 because I did not want to delete Tony Hawk, but I did, knowing that the next-gen update is coming soon. I can't wait to play that again in all of its gloriousness. It is pretty nice to get these upgrades on these new machines, and I don't want to, rub that in anybody's face. I know how hard these things are to get right now, and I believe we're going to run into that same thing with the new Switch, Super Switch. That's what we're calling it, right? Hold on, I'm reading this. Vic, long time no live with you from the 90s fan. Cool. I've been doing a live show kind of once a week, and then I also do the Vic's Basement once a week as well, which is becoming a live tradition. I don't have my guest for Friday yet. I've reached out to somebody, but they haven't confirmed. So I might be scrambling a little bit tomorrow to find the person that I'm going to have on Vic's Basement this week. But I'll put something together cool. Vic, do you know if X-Play is coming back? Jeff Meacham, yeah, X-Play and Attack of the Show are definitely coming back to G4. Hope we get the SSD expansion on the PlayStation 5 soon. That's from Blade Blur and everybody else here. Michael, yes, G4 and I have been talking about collaborating for a long time, but it's not looking like we're going to be a part of their first year with content. I just released that statement, and it's not a statement that I want to kind of like keep releasing, so I just posted a tweet about it. It's business stuff behind the scenes, but I wish them very well over there. I hope it's huge. If Vic rejoins G4, I don't know how I'll contain my excitement from Goku. I want a guest on Vic's Basement bucket list, Blade Blur. That'll happen, brother. Excellent. Okay, so I did not collect many gems. Blade Blur is looking at me with real disappointment in his eyes right now. Don't hate me. I'm not a QA guy. Like, I don't test these things. Like, I do as well as I can. I missed the CES ever since Rev3 Gaming passed away. LOL. Yeah, Adam's been on a journey. I'm really happy for him, and I'm really happy for Kevin. You know, it was different for them than it was for us because obviously we had other avenues after G4 went away. But those guys were really tied to the programming that they were making there, and they kind of went on a bunch of. Kevin had some pretty good success with what he's doing, but and not saying that Adam didn't, but I think Adam went on a journey. So I'm really happy that he's got he's kind of going home again. Let's see. 4 gems out of 6, and I am very proud. All right, Bladebler. All right, I made the tester proud, guys. I have played this level about 50, or this early part of the game about 50 times at this point. I'm not new to this anymore because I played it on the PS4, reviewed it, streamed it, talked about it, love it, and now I've been playing it on because I started over again on PS5. And I played a little bit of this on the Switch already. God, it looks great, man. Did we figure out who did this work? Bladebler, who did this work? Because they did a great job. This is an excellent port. Oh, and the other thing I understand about this game, if you are a Switch-only gamer out there, and kudos to you, there's lots of great stuff on the Switch, it's cheaper. It's $40 on the Switch, American, which is probably, what, $90 in Canada? How much is it in Canada? Sometimes it pays to wait. Actually, it always pays to wait in games, doesn't it? It like literally pays. It's great to get the stuff early. I'm not gonna get blasted and die. But you usually get a way better deal. Then you get all the stuff and you get all the bugs. Cyberpunk worked out if you just hang on. That's also true in development, from what I understand. Just keep going. Oh, no! Robert Garza says, hey, Vic, any reason you stopped uploading the classic EP episodes on Saturday mornings? I had just built a tradition of watching over breakfast, and I miss it. Yes, I am actively trying to find a partner to do a better job at releasing the content and letting people know that we have this content. And I didn't want to just release everything on YouTube before I have a lot of those discussions. So I've been in those discussions for a while, but eventually the goal is all of it is out there, right? That's what I want to do. I'm just trying to find a way to bang the drum a little louder, you know? You guys all do me a real solid by spreading the word and by subscribing and doing stuff like Alt Stuff TV does there with the super chats. It's amazing. But I think we have some real gold with our content, and I want more people to see it. And I want it to, I'm going to focus a chunk of time and expense to digitize everything. I'd like the investment kind of recouped. But I also feel like it can be a benefit to a partner that's like trying to invest into this space in general. I mean, we're a turnkey solution, let's face it. For somebody that wants to build a network or deliver a lot of video content around the video game industry, they should be chatting with me. And so I recognize that, and I kind of put the initial seasons out there with an eye to that. But that's not saying that I'm not going to go back to delivering the seasons just through YouTube and maybe some other digital services as well. The challenge I have, and I talk about this all the time, is that, obviously because of the pandemic, we shrunk even more than we were, and we were small before. And so it's a question of time. I mean, I like making new content every day, and our old content, to reformat it and put it out there and promote it and to talk about it and get people to check it out, that is a job. That could take, if it was just me, and right now it is just me putting all this stuff together, I could just be focused on that. I don't want to just focus on that. I want to focus on new stuff and that. And so I need the resources in order to be able to do that. It's as simple as that. But thank you so much, Old Stuff TV. Me and my two brothers are longtime fans. I always agreed with Tommy and Scott. An older bro agreed with you. That's because I'm the mature one. But I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you, agreed with one of the of our duos. That's what the whole idea was. I kind of knew that people were going to start to identify with the different individuals that we were putting into our programming. Okay, let's try to make this jump. Notice I stopped jumping. You have to concentrate in this game. It's incredibly difficult. Chris Wynn, I just finished Cyberpunk and enjoyed it, but found the bugs were a lot to bear. Honestly, found the story and pacing to be pretty rough, too. About a 7.5 for me, 8 without the bug. I mean, that was a victim of unfinished work, but also insurmountable expectation and hype. You know, like, there was nothing easy about getting that game out. It's going to be an interesting one to revisit, you know. I got that right at the last minute. You cannot talk and play this game. I don't know how streamers are able to do this. There's so much concentration. All right, there we go. Vic, what do you think? Where do I think Assassin's Creed should go next? Well, ancient Japan would have been amazing, but not anymore. Thank you, Sucker Punch. Honestly, I think it would be amazing for them to subvert expectations and not make a classic-based Assassin's Creed experience. Maybe even take a nice long break, but wouldn't it be amazing to explore the otherworldly qualities of Assassin's Creed, you know, in their totality and I don't know, go to a different realm, different dimension, different time period, you know, not historical. I don't want to get into too much spoilery conversation, but I'd like to be surprised. Oh, I've already been here before, so I don't want to go back. Okay, all right. See, you got to concentrate in this game. Okay. Jump. Oh, dead. See, you can't. Finished finally getting EA Play on Game Pass PC. I know that. Well, that could have been another piece of my. I ran out of time. I couldn't find another couple of little quick things to talk about today. But yeah, Game Pass. It like every day, it's like Game Pass is just getting better and better and better and more irrefutable. Sony's gonna have to have an answer, man. They really are. All right, there we go. News Pooey channel, we're seeing a little eye to eye there, I think. Let's see what we got here. 2077 begs for a refined sequel. I want the Assassin's Creed 2 or Titanfall 2 for Cyberpunk. Ah, interesting. Yes. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what, you know. Oh, this is hard. Yes. Okay, I have to really think here if I'm gonna get in. Okay, 1 second. The game is excellent, Chuck Norris. Great to see you. Love your work. But it's demanding. Okay, I have to shut up. Well, except for the swears that may come out of my mouth, but this is tough. If I want to get these crates, and I do, this is hard. I gotta think. Okay. Oh! Gaga! Okay, I'm gonna try that again. I'll probably I'll give it like 2 more tries if I don't get it on this one. Okay. Oh, God. Oh! Ah! Ah! Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, God damn it. Okay, this is my last... This is my last time with this. I don't know if people have watched me stream this game before, but I'm sure this hung me up for an hour before. Okay. I'm psyching myself out. You guys know that, right? I know how hard this is. Oh! God. I don't think my blood pressure can take this. Okay, I think we're gonna bounce to another game. This is well, actually, you know what I'll do? I'll get past this. I just won't get the crates, because that's not fair. We got to see a little bit more of this game. It's honestly, it's like you're being interrogated when you stream this game and you're on camera. It's like the lights getting hotter and the camera's getting closer to my face. It's like Marathon Man, Laurence Olivier ripping out teeth from Dustin Hoffman. Okay, is it safe? No! Oh my God! All right. Steady. Cannot escape those depth perception platform jumps. Yes, the lack of being able to swivel the camera for sure. Even when you can, even in you know, Mario Bowser's Fury, I was still finding some of the stuff. Well, Michael, I knew I could do it, but I didn't know. I wanted to get all the crates. Took me forever to get all the crates on the PlayStation 5. Come here for the gaming, stay for the Marathon Man references. Chris Wynn, yes. I've been around. I've seen some stuff. That is an amazing book to read, by the way, if you've never read that. I think it's William Goldman. Read Marathon Man. Excellent. Oh. 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 My thumb has slipped off the controller. No! Look at how solid this is. It is so good. Blade Blur, who did the port? If it's Toys for Bob, they're amazing. Well, Toys for Bob is amazing, but God, this is great. Oh. Pretty soon, though, guys. The port's not going to be that big of a deal, like worrying about how things are going to run on Switch. Not going to be that stressful, because so many good things are coming. Right? We all know that. Super Switch on the way. They definitely are amazing. Look out, Vic. Thank you, Kenneth. Thanks for all your support, by the way. I see all your likes and your retweets and stuff. You rock, my friend. That Marathon movie has ruined my ability to read the book without hearing Arnie's voice narrating. Yeah, Sam I Am 111. I read the book before I saw the movie. I don't know. I think it's William Goldman. Am I right? Is that the author? It's been a while. I don't read novels that much these days, except with the ones that I'm reading with my kid. I just finished Ready Player 2. We read all the Harry Potter books. I keep saying, look, let's dive into the Lord of the Rings books, which I've never read, full disclosure. But I'd love to read them, mostly to just come up with different voices for all the British characters. Mucky Mucks, I am playing on the Switch. This is the Switch version of the game. Philip Morris, I don't partake in your smokes, but it's awesome that you're here. And yes, we've been running strong on YouTube for the last several years. It's been super fun. Emilio Lopez. Hey, I'm back. Yes, I am. I'm a huge Laurence Olivier guy. Listen, I mean, this is the caliber of the chat on Electric Playground cannot be matched. I sound like Seinfeld. We have so much intelligence and empathy and you know, awareness of culture. I love it. You guys are incredible. Thank you for being here. News Pooey channel. This is the Nintendo Switch version of the game. William Goldman. News Pooey channel. Okay, William Goldman. Look up this author. If you guys enjoy a good book. World According to Garp, I think, is his. Incredible writer. The Color of Light, I think, might be his as well. I'm going off the top of my head, but I read a bunch of his stuff and just loved everything that I did read.
By my calculations, our enemies are already moving against us.
Billy and Mandy voice acting in this game. Very cool. Vic with Michael Caine Gandalf accent. Yes. That's going to happen. Or everybody's going to be Obi-Wan. Okay, what is it? You can't win, Anakin. I've got the higher ground now. Thou shalt not pass. How's that? I Buy Digital. Oh my God, you're going to give me a heart attack. Hey, Vic, what are the odds of Morgan Webb and Adam Sessler showing up to your podcast in the near future, hoping everyone's having a safe St. Patty's? Dude, you are amazing. If you're a dude, I hate to assume. That's very kind of you. I'd love to have Morgan and Adam on the podcast. I think that would be awesome. That is a great idea. I have asked Adam to do a couple of quick video things, but timing didn't work out on like, contribution type stuff, and he at first said yes, but then he couldn't do it. The timing didn't work out. I should reach out to those guys. I have to be honest, I've been so busy with trying to maintain a schedule with the rundown that I haven't had time to plan ahead on Vic's Basement, and it took me a little while to coordinate with Evan and TQ and Chris to do and also Paris. Those were my last two Vic's Basement live shows, because they're all so freaking busy, and I run into that all the time, right? So I do talk to incredibly talented people that are super busy, and so I do have to coordinate a little bit, but trust me, good people are going to come here. Oh, Louis Arias liked my C-3PO impression. Thou shalt not pass. Oh no! Did I just do this level? I did it again. I have to pop out of here. Okay. I Buy Digital. I can't get over that, man. That's very kind. Thank you so much. I enjoyed looking people up from the show to see what they're doing now. It was like time travel, Mucky Mucks. So you're looking at classic EP content, and then you say, yes, I love doing that too. And I love catching up with people. I did this one, right? So we want to just quit the level? Or does quit this thing? Quit to map. Okay, cool. Oh, please bring back David from Twisted Metal. Part of me is hopeful that I'll find someone that I have a real repartee with, a real kind of, chemistry with. I've done this, right? I got to hop on the purple thing and go to the new world. No. Do I? Okay. And then we can do, and I've done that a little with Sam Miskovich. I think he's phenomenal from Ars Technica. I like having him on often. But I'm kind of hoping that this, I kind of have like a semi-regular guest or co-host type person that I'm working the podcast with on a regular basis. And doing stuff with David, but he's so busy with his own things. But his energy is just so different from mine. And I loved it. And I think it's fun to that's what I did with Tommy and Scott. They were both so different from me. It's fun to play off of that, It's fun to kind of just riff with people that are just so clever like that. And Johnny as well. I would love to do more stuff with Johnny, but he's really crazy busy being a new dad, and I totally remember what that was like. My kid is much older than Johnny's kid, and she likes a lot of time that isn't with her dad now. She likes to spend a lot of time with her friends. And I get that. It's important as well, right? Yeah, but I'd love to do more stuff with Johnny, too. That'd be great. And David was crazy. That's from Charlie Jordan. Chris Wynn, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Thank you. Axis 2084. Robert McCammon's Matthew Corbett books dominated my life. We are talking about books in this video game stream. FTW. Happy Console Gamer does rock. He is awesome. Hip Hop Dan. Adrian Leon is here. What's up? How is Scott? I've been a neglectful friend. I've been freaking crazy busy, and I've gone to go text him, but I can't really have the convo with him. But I need to check in with him. I need to have him back on the podcast soon. Charlie Jordan, we've got some people talking about their authors and stuff. Goldman also wrote The Princess Bride. Of course, Daniel Pacheco. I never read that book, but I've read a bunch of other William Goldman stuff, and he's amazing. Chris Wynn, you got that right. He is. And he's over the moon. And he's become, and I knew this would happen. I used to tell him this all the time. It's like your worldview is going to change, and you're going to become a lot more sensitive to the world. And that's exactly why I get a lot of heart texts from him now. Ever since his wife became pregnant, he's going to be so embarrassed that I say. But we both do. And especially last year, God, we all went through hell. Every one of us, right? So lots of hearts going out there. And you know what? It's goddamn important. Tell people you love them, right? It's important. People need to hear it, and you need to say it. Tell people you love that you love them, because we learned some big lessons. Good authors can take you on a journey. Why is Stephen King so wealthy? Axis 2084 with the deep thoughts. I love it. Okay. The work in this game is so exceptional. It's so good. We'll play a little bit more, and then we'll jump into... we've got a nice melange of... all right, I can... Got the cool suit on. So you gain these abilities, these different suits that change things... dimensionally, is that a word? And so I can make these things appear out of thin air, and that becomes part of the system of the game, and it's hard. There's no other word. You have to make sure that you press the right button at the right time, or you disappear through the vapor. All right, here you go. Through the shadow of what was there before. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Oh. Man, the testing. Blade Blur, you could write a book on what you guys went through on this, because I'm sure millimeters of change made all the difference on every platform and every decision, every choice. And then I'm sure everybody gets good internally at Toys for Bob, and then you show it to some focus testers, and they're like ready to... They get a little angry, I'm sure. Oh, mutant sand sharks. Here we go. Oh, no, mutant cyborg sand sharks. Timing is off. Okay. Kill the speakers. Bloodborne sequel, definitely going to be happening. That is from Axis again, 2084, with great comments. The book will called The Crash Course. Love it, Blade Blur. Okay. Don't touch the nitro. Oh, damn it. Do you guys ever play games where you have... sometimes I play games and I listen to interviews and things like that, podcasts or talk show interviews or stuff, but I have it on my phone, sort of resting on the arm of my chair. And then I find when I play the game again, sometimes the remembrance of that conversation pops up again when you get to a certain level. I guess it'd be like a song drop or a song cue or something. But the last time I played this level was on the PS5, and I was playing it. Ah, Blade Blur. Love EP. Look at the hearts in the chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you, Blade Blur. Thank you. That's amazing. That's so cool. The last time I was playing this game was on the PS5, and on my phone I was watching Daniel Craig and Mads Mikkelsen reminisce about working. I think Variety had this video up. Oh, shit. Mutant cyborg sand shark got me. But it's a totally not connected piece of media coming into my brain as I'm back here. It's like, oh yeah, I was just watching Mads Mikkelsen and Daniel Craig talking about their incredible scenes together in that amazing Bond flick, my favorite of all the Bond flicks, actually. Okay, here we go. Oh, right on, Chris Wynn with the great comment. Absolutely, Johnny used to be on a podcast called All Gen Gamers, and I beat Spyro 1 on PS1, binging it. Yeah, it's amazing, right? Like, your mind, it's not just tastes, it's not just smells. Especially because we live in this multi-screen reality, if we can call it that. If we can call it reality. where content and info is tweeting in at us from every angle, and yeah, we're multifaceted, multi-threaded people now. It's very interesting. Sometimes it's a little. Well, that is a sign, actually, when I'm playing a game or I'm watching a movie or a TV show or I'm reading a comic. If all of the other noise drops away and I can only focus on that one thing, that is significant, and it really kind of speaks to the quality of the entertainment or the thought stream or something that's being presented to me, or it's just the time. It's that perfect time, because I think that comes into play too. Sometimes everything else needs to drop away and you need to just kind of focus on stuff. But I don't know if we live our lives anymore without this connection to the internet at all times, which is surreal. It's a weird way to live. It's like you and then the digital you are coming into every interface, whether it's entertainment or conversations or whatever. Yeah, very interesting time. People of the future will just be cyborgs. They'll be cool with all of it. They'll be receiving transmissions in real time all the time. All right, so we'll play this to get to the end of this level, and then we'll jump into the other games. Okay, so I want to... Right, okay. Ooh. This is tricky because when you do those double jumps or you get a little bit animated, you tend to squeeze the controller, and if you squeeze the controller, you might hit the trigger button and activate something that will block you. Okay, so this one, jump up double twice. Okay, cool. There's lots of great mechanics out of the box, and then of course new skills and suits and things that you pick up along the way. Okay, so boom, that's got to go, and then. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, after all of the different platformers that we have played over these 40 years of gaming out there, so many of them, so many Crash platformers, but still Toys for Bob managed to find lots of fresh takes, lots of fresh ways in. Incredibly commendable. A little weird that both Crash and Ratchet, though, this year are about dimension hopping. Oh, shit. Missed it. Sorry if there are any children watching. Or I blew your mind that I swore. Was not allowed to do that on TV. We did it. We just had the beep button handy. Alright, come on. Kablooey! So interesting thing here, the TNT boxes won't blow up the metal boxes, but you can belly bash them, and then they'll go. Question, Vic, when did you expect the Quest... When do I expect the Quest 3 to drop? Have the original and wanted to wait an extra generation. Very shrewd. I don't know if they'll... I think they'll probably wait a year this time. I don't think they're going to come out this year with the Quest 3. Quest 2's doing so well, and it's a great piece of kit. It really is, I think, it's like the 1.5, which in a way makes it the 1. It's like the way that it should have been right out of the get-go, especially when you can consider that you can tether it up. And it came out so soon after the original Quest. And I think what Oculus is going to do now is they're going to wait to see, I think specifically what PlayStation has got up their sleeve before they reveal what they've got up their sleeve. But yeah, Quest 2 is an appreciable jump up from the Quest 1 for sure. But I think it's prudent to wait. Can we get Dylan Cuthbert on Vic's Basement? I've been... Man, I think sometimes you can read my mind, Sam I Am 111. I've been in contact over the last several weeks with the folks over... What's their studio name again? I'm blanking on it right now. You know what it is. But they just released that roguelike on Stadia, and I have to confess I haven't had too much impetus to jump onto Stadia in the last little while. But they also did, oh, it's Pixel Junk. Well, Pixel Junk is that's their brand. Q Games, yeah. I've been in touch with folks from Q Games. I should have Dylan on. I think that would be an incredible conversation. I'm a huge fan of that studio. I really want them to make another Pixel Junk shooter game. I don't know if you guys played the Pixel Junk shooter titles, but those were so good. Okay, here we go. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Is that where that crash sound comes? Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Oh, shut up. No. Yeah, that's impossible. Vic, when you started in the industry and began interviewing celebrities and industry folks, did you struggle with starstruckness? And if so, how did you cope? Hoping to get into filmmaking in Vancouver. There have been moments for sure where I've been in disbelief about, where I am or who I'm talking with. But the one thing about production, whether it's a small show like our shows or the movie sets or whatever that I've seen, is there's so much waiting around. It's not like when you interview somebody famous, it's not like you're entering their movie. You're with them in reality. And reality is as uncomfortable for someone with, hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank and billions of people that know their name as it is for you. Like we worked on, you certainly are acutely aware, and this is true. I mean, I get nervous talking to anybody still to this day. Like, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to say the wrong thing. But I think when you have somebody like Stan Lee or Robert Downey Jr. or whatever, like, there's an extra layer of like, oh, don't be dumb in your mind. You're doing everything you can to be the best you. So you overthink that stuff for sure. But generally what I've discovered is that people are people, And I don't know if that was something that my mom gave to me or acting school gave to me or what, but being a waiter actually helped me quite a bit because I had to, help people have a good time when they came into the restaurant, and I was the host, the avatar towards that. I was presenting the food and making sure everybody was happy and being the conduit between the kitchen and the table. And so that gave me quite a bit of I don't think it's overt confidence. I think it's just more comfort knowing that I'm a person too, and so I was, even from the early days, able to kind of walk into situations with high profile people and be fairly comfortable around it. And generally what I find is I just try to connect with people on a person to person kind of level, and it's been okay, been a couple of times where it's been a little tense or a little more stressful than it should be. And always surreal. Oh my God, always surreal. Meeting Shigeru Miyamoto as early as I met George Lucas at the first E3 that I went to. All right, I met, and I gave him my business card that had Victor Lucas on it. I said, "Oh, I have the same last name as you." Oh my! And he just looked at me, not impressed but polite. And but that was like my first trip out of Vancouver. Producing content for Electric Playground, and I meet one of like the major, probably the person that started me on this road to ever think about getting in front of the camera or create something in the entertainment space in the world. It was George Lucas and Star Wars and Raiders and his incredible imagination. And so the first time I go out, I connect with him and talk with him. And that was just insanity for me, but it also reinforced that, hey, I'm on a path I should be on, and let's go do it. And It's all those little strokes, man. All those little brush strokes of I don't know, reinforcement that just keep you going. And that was one of them for sure. All right. Mr. Brockarock ran into Steven Spielberg in 2003 at E3. That's awesome. Oh, shit. Okay. They all know me. That's hilarious, Charlie Jordan. Well, interestingly enough, with George Lucas is we'll play Panzer Paladin. You know, in '95 he didn't know who the heck I was at all. But then, of course, we worked with Lucas Arts quite a bit, and we convinced their PR folks and their developers and their partners to do these crazy Star Wars special effects sequences, and they turned out pretty damn fun, especially in those days. Like, there weren't too many entertainment shows where that lightsaber battle might erupt in the middle of an interview, but on EP it could, and so we would cut our pieces together, put them out there, and we'd share them with developers. We have to send tapes to some of the people that we were visiting because the internet just wasn't around for that. But we'd send down tapes of stuff that we would shoot with Lucas, and they were always so cool, man, so supportive. They would give us their 3D models and access to some of the artwork to kind of reinforce that we were in their game worlds. And then they would show them at company meetings, and George Lucas would be there, and I would hear back that people had a great laugh and they enjoyed our stuff, and so I met George a couple more times after that, and he did know who I was, which was amazing. Okay. Any assholes? You know, I mean, if there have been assholes, I think it's been more of actually one guy was an asshole. I can't even remember his name. He's an actor at Sundance, but he was a jerk. He was just a jerk. And I actually became somewhat friendly with a person that worked with him on a show. I think it might still be going. And she said that she left the show, and she said, I'm not going to say who it is, but she says she left the show, and she was so happy that she left the show. And now that I think back to that interaction, because honestly, like, I really have to think about it. There haven't been that many people that have been jerks, but he was a jerk. He was totally rude. But she was very happy to have left that show. I just got an email from her the other day, and she reminded me of that, actually. But generally, if people have been uncomfortable or a little bit weird, it's mostly because the way into the conversation has been through video games, and sometimes people just don't play, you know? And I was talking with Dave Jaffe about that in our podcast. Sometimes we'd run into folks at gaming parties at E3 or something like that, or in LA, and they were famous or celebrities, but they were in these gaming parties, and they just had no respect for video gaming at all. And so sometimes it'd be a little short or a little less than enthusiastic. But you know, actually, I think we aired one of them, so I can say who it was. But Terrence Howard kind of gave off a little bit of that. Yeah, he was an interesting guy to talk with. But you know what, man? People have been really cool, and I think it's also been super refreshing for people over the years to talk with EP about games, because you know, so many people want dirty laundry, or you know, what they're wearing or what their workout regimen is, and we're like, you know, you been playing any games lately? What's your favorite video game? Okay, so I I met Johnny Depp way before EP. I never talked with him on camera, and he was awesome. But he was already so famous. I met him on the set of 21 Jump Street. I was going to sell him a leather jacket, which is so weird. But he was already, it was a very interesting thing. Like, he was already not making eye contact with people because he just had enough. And I can totally understand. Like, if everybody wants you and everybody wants to be connecting with you, it must just get exhausting. And the first time in my life that I had ever seen that or recognized that. But, you know, later on I kind of recognized that sometimes you just need to disconnect from stuff. Okay, I'm not talking about this game, and I want to, Arian Dehastani. My brother was friends with Johnny, because my brother's was an actor, and worked with all kinds of people in the community. And everybody's shot here. And so that was a surreal thing. But anyways, that'll be in the in a future story later on. I wanted to play Panzer Paladin. This is made by Tribute Games out of Canada, and we've all heard of Tribute Games over the last week because this is the team that's making the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge game. And I've played a little bit of this on PC, and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was super cool, but I wanted to check it out on Switch. I have also been playing and adoring Cyber Shadow, and I just felt like this would be a nice mix with it. And so the deal here is got a little bit of what the hell's that? The game Master Blaster, that kind of vibe where you've got this big cool suit that you're in, and it's got all kinds of abilities and great powers and stuff. But then you can also hop out, and you're this little tiny character that also has cool abilities, but different, and you're a little bit more fragile, as you could probably surmise. This is the grappling hook, a little flint hook-like. Tribute is also the company that made the excellent flint hook. But I wanted to check this game out, show it off to you guys a little bit, try to get better at it, because right now I'm sucking. Okay. Oh, it only goes sideways. Okay. And just sort of see how it runs, because, you know, of course, these guys are going to be in the hot seat now, right? Everybody's going to be looking at them. Are you going to deliver my Donatello? Is this going to run properly? Blaster Master, thank you, New Pui channel. Miles H. Head, we'll wait for the biography. Okay, here we go. Oh, I can switch weapons. So I've got a whip, grappling hook. Super cool. I should have a story series. I never kind of take time to, like, reflect on stuff. I mean, that's the one thing, right? Like, I'm busy making a new thing all the time. But I have been very fortunate. You guys know that, especially people that have been watching for a long time. You've seen me talk with all kinds of incredible people. That's what I wanted to do. That's it. I built the thing I wanted to do, you know? And I've been able to do it, and I still am. Only now it's out of my basement. I just bought Blaster Master 0, 1, 2, and 1 and 2 about 3 weeks ago. Question from Nintendo Boy 17. Have you heard of the Knights of the Temple Infernal Crusade? It was a Europe exclusive until as recent as 2019, where you can buy it on Steam. It's also by Starbreeze. Amazing. I like Starbreeze. I have not heard of that. Sam I Am 111 with the very tough question. Let me get a little farther in Cyber Shadow. I think it's the Messenger because there's some really cool surreal twists in it, but I need to get a bit farther in Cyber Shadow. Both of the games are very hard, and they're both excellent games. God, I mean, that's what I love is the, I love all kinds of games, but I really dig that the language of 2D has become so familiar for developers. Oh, I can summon the Paladin. Okay. Super cool. That they've been able to kind of reinterpret, classic mechanics and modernize everything. They don't have to worry with things shimmering or having enough memory to load in all the art assets and stuff like that, but they can still kind of adhere to really tried and true design concepts. So we just have this excellent stream of really great, really well-made 2D games. And this is one of them, quite frankly. But The Messenger is excellent, and Cyber Shadow is excellent. Don't make me choose from my kids, between my kids. Can we get a Shinobi remake, Johnny McFly? I think we can probably count on that after the amazing Streets of Rage 4. I'm sure that that's going to happen. Algorithm Punch for Vic. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Thank you, Rathless. Wait, is that the Mega Man jump sound when the guy lands? That might be like a slightly attenuated rendition of some classic sounds. Did you guys catch that hockey stick? You get a hockey stick in this game, made in Canada. Let's see what we got here. You'll hold on to this question for another time. Thank you, Sam I Am. That would make a nice versus. Here we go. Here we go. Superb game. I really like these guys. Tribute's been making stuff on iPhone for years too, and every time I've played one of their games, it's always charmed me. This is cool. Alright, so we can break the weapon. Why do we want to break it? To switch between them, I guess? I didn't play it long enough to understand everything that I played it to test out the mechanics when I checked it out on PC. Oh, I've got my shield up. Cool. But I didn't really get into the minutia of the game. I think a boss is coming up pretty soon. Back step. Anybody else play this game? We need more versus content. I know. I need more people. How do I get more people, guys? What do I do? Yes, I'd like to make more things. I would like to make... You know what would rock is just being able to do as much of... you know, obviously it would take a lot of money to do what we used to do on TV, but get as close to that as we can through digital. It'd be amazing. I've talked to a lot of executives, actually, in the broadcast space, as you can imagine, and I've heard a few times that people don't want what they can get on TV, on YouTube. And then I look at the numbers of Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Fallon and MSNBC, and I read how much money TV shows are making off of YouTube, and how it's sometimes pretty great to be able to just put on a 20-minute thing that's been well-produced from TV on YouTube. I think people would go they'd be pretty into, you know, EP Daily or Reviews on the Run Daily as television quality productions on YouTube. I think. Alright, so we're going to insert the weapon. We talk about that, Jim Kubak going on tour together. That would be awesome. It'd be fun to do reviews on the run type content all over the place. Oh no, no Queeby for me. I like live, like what we're doing right now, but I couldn't imagine doing everything live all the time. I like packaged, edited stuff. You know, that's why I restarted the rundown, and it's been really fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been really fun, and I feel very proud of that little packaged morsel that I put out there every day. But I also think it's incredibly important to use this technology to be able to do things like this and to connect and to play these games. And, you know, obviously all the developers reach out to me to, you want to review this? You want to review that? And I do. I want to review everything, but it's trying to find the time to do it all, you know? So I think live shows like this really are useful. I'm dead, right? I have this. Okay. So I'm really weak. Oh my goodness. I almost got him though. Okay. Alright, let's go get him right now. News Pooey channel. That's what we used to do with Blake, actually. Sometimes I'd have Blake Siefkin on camera, and he would play for me a little bit, or vice versa. Thank you, Jim. Frank Castle, love your work. Yeah, the pandemic certainly forced a lot of change for everybody. But the cool thing is that all of this technology and these different platforms and different ways to get stuff out there means you can just pivot, you know? You can just do things. And that's been made acutely clear to me this year. Sort of being put into a position where I've had to kind of find my way to building content on a regular basis. Since you like packaged content, Vic, ever thought of editing together supercuts of more recent reviews like what other YouTube reviewers do? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'd like to do that. I honestly feel like I could do, you know, best of the week news and put a couple of little review type pieces together every week. It's a good idea. Oh, Randy, thank you very much. I love your positive vibes. I'm getting Zelda 2 vibes from this boss fight. Awesome. That's from Miles Ahead. Miles Ahead. I'm not fondling your... Okay. I kept coming back to this channel because you didn't slacken the production. You speak like you're a TV host and didn't water down the content. Consistency. Thank you, Chris Wynn. I mean, I wasn't faking it on TV. It was coming from a place of pure joy and passion and love for this stuff. Sam, I am 111. Speaking of E3, have you been working with Jeff on his Game Awards show? Now that E3 is kind of dying off, this gives you guys from the old guard a chance to do it right together. I think I'd work with Jeff a lot more if I was in LA, but he is very in tune with the LA space and the LA scene. So we connect every once in a while, but I don't really work with him. Vic and Tommy equals Snoop and Dre of video games. Johnny McFly. That's funny. Frank Castle, after the pandemic, we hope Film Fury comes back. Johnny and I have been talking about that for sure. We miss going to movies together. We miss a lot of stuff, but you know what? The light's at the end of the tunnel. Hidden by Vatican VI, the Forge will claim the Earth and produce spirit weapons. The cosmic war shall begin. We're doomed! We're doomed, Scoob! Dom, no, the Canadian government did not subsidize the show. The Canadian government gives production companies tax credits if they employ Canadians and produce Canadian content out of the country. And so we were able to get some tax credits on seasons of the show. But we never ran the show based on tax credits. We had to get a license fee from our partners, and we had sponsors and stuff, and that's what gave us the budget to be able to do the amount of traveling and the amount of production and the amount of detail that we would put into all of our episodes. Some companies are able to do a tremendous amount based off of those tax credits, and there are disbursements and things like that for content out there. Arian's happy that I'm in the Vancouver area. We need more Canadian gaming content and personalities. I agree. The Electric Poutine. Oh, Randy, that's an excellent question. I've never been to Copenhagen, and I've heard that is an amazing city. I've heard it's one of the happiest places on Earth. It's where Lego is based. I've been really wanting to go there. I love Stockholm. I love Sweden. Sweden's amazing. We've been to Norway. I've never been to Finland, but Copenhagen is where I'd really like to go. And I personally have never been to Amsterdam. My wife's been there. We really want to get back to Scotland, though. My family and I are huge fans of Scotland. My niece and nephew-in-law got married there in 2019, so we had a really lovely trip across the country. And my family and I have been to Edinburgh a bunch of times, and we love that city. So we're excited to go back to Scotland very much. I love Europe. I love going to Europe. I always have an incredible time when I'm out there. I love the history and the museums and the art and the food. Making me really miss traveling right now. Make sure to smash the like button for the algorithm and send a message to chat. Thank you, TF. Fenton Reed Smith, somebody's brought up the idea of doing some commentary stuff. I have thought of that for sure. Yes. I don't want to do a production meeting right now. But yes, I have thought of lots of different ways to approach content for sure. Vic, I still remember your Indiana Jones skit on the Nintendo 64. It still puts a smile on my face. Johnny McFly puts a smile on my face, man. That was surreal. Especially shooting the lava sequence and the boulder sequence outside of LucasArts. It was all insanity. Yeah, I love Lucasfilm. I'm so happy that they were always amazing with EP, right? Like, I don't know what it was, man. Like, meeting George Lucas at E3 1995, and then just the open arm welcome that we always received at LucasArts and then Lucasfilm Games. And I've been able to go and see the recent Star Wars movies, actually. Have been at Lucasfilm, have been at at Lucasfilm headquarters in San Francisco. It blows my mind. Like, there's really wonderful people work there. They know I'm a huge nerd for this stuff, and I've been able to do some excellent things with them, and I am grateful. And I'm so glad they're making a new Indiana Jones game, and they're divvying up the prize pool on Star Wars experiences. So we're gonna keep getting some cool stuff out there, and also Jedi Fallen Order's getting a sequel. Star Wars Squadrons kicked ass. Star Wars Battlefront 2 is amazing. It's a great time to be a Star Wars video game fan, or a Lucasfilm video game fan. I'd like more 2D stuff, though. I've mentioned this to people I know over there, that it would be cool. Wouldn't it be cool for the Super Star Wars games? They made Star Wars Jedi and Empire. Wouldn't it be amazing if they did the entire Skywalker saga in the Super Star Wars style? So they went back to the Phantom Menace, maybe did another pass through Star Wars 1 through 4 through 6 to modernize everything, make it a little bit more fair, because those games are pretty damn cheap today. But I always thought the aesthetics and the mechanics and the chiptune music, all of it was just awesome. And it would be... I'm sure there's something I could do with that, but I don't know what to do, and I haven't been paying attention. But wouldn't it be amazing to play all of the Star Wars movies like that? I would love that. I mean, it's saying something when, the Turtles 2D game that this company right here, Tribute, is going to be making, takes over all of video game news. And significantly, it was on Mario Day. And it was like, oh my god, they're making a Turtles game in 2D! I just did the collective voices heard around the internet right there. Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay. Sorry about that. Oh! How am I alive still? I don't know. Go away! Oh! I'm too little. You don't know what to do with me. I beat you up. Okay, sorry for yelling, everybody. Okay. Look at that little punk. I sure would like my Paladin again. Oh! I'm still alive. I'm almost dead. Holy mackerel. This guy's gonna get me. No! How am I alive still? Oh, frackin'. This is cool, man. I like this game a lot. It's also easier than Cyber Shadow, which I'm liking. Ah, no! I forgot. You know, for years when I worked at TMNT, we were trying to get Konami to do a new 2D game. So you worked on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Was that the animated show, Emilio? Dad Dude still playing through Cyber Shadow. This is a great accompaniment and lots of tribute games. If you've never played Flint Hook, you should check that out as well. I think they do, is it Renegade Heroes or something like that? They've got a bunch of really good ones. Some of them are like 99 cents on your iPhone right now, too, by the way. Oh, the iPhone, when it was first becoming a gaming device, they had a ton of 2D type experiences, right? Like a lot of indie devs or smaller teams were making games. They did I don't know if Blair Farrell's still in the chat, but they did a Captain America game that was really fun on the iPhone. And of course what they do is the iPhones upgrade and then you can't play the old code. So those games disappear. But that was a really cool game. I just wish these companies would do... what do I do here? I know there's something I can do here. I don't know what it is. Oh, I need a spear? Is that what it is? Oh, I can hop out. Okay, right. Do I have a menu? Okay, I have... Oh, and I can probably upgrade everything. It's got a little bit of... This is so cool. Oh, I have some stuff in storage. I have a dirk. What does a dirk look like? Okay, officer sword. Dirk is a small thing. Okay, bowie knife, javelin. That's what I want. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does! Baseball bat. Okay, I'm getting it, guys. Too busy talking about George Lucas today. Not paying attention. Oh, frack. Oh. I tried to sneak in there. Oh. Okay, we'll try to get to a boss and then we'll check out Kingdoms of Amalur, which also it's hard to believe we're talking about in 2021 and on a Nintendo Switch platform. It's insanity. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so I'm dead. I did terribly, but I'm going to play this some more. Very, very cool experiences. Panzer Paladin from Tribute Games. Let's continue on, my friends, and we will play Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. Jim Kubak. I'm sure that will happen. Nintendo knows how valuable the 2D stuff is. They're very good with that. I probably missed a whole bunch of chats here. Chris Wynn, I think the indie game is going to be dope. I cannot wait. I can't believe that Todd Howard is going to do. You know, we worked with Todd on the making of the Fallout games, Fallout 3 and New Vegas, and he has the idol from the temple of at the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's been an Indiana Jones nerd. It's basically been a competition between Todd and myself and another a guy that I know, an art director in games, Bob Donatucci. between the three of us, we were like three of the biggest indie nerds on Earth. And I always kind of had this fantasy of getting Todd to work on an Indiana Jones game with Bob. Bob actually did work on an Indiana Jones game. He made Emperor. What was it? He was at the Collective. Emperor. Oh, I've got the poster. I'm blanking on the name. But he worked on that. I always thought, oh my God, it would be great if all of them were working on something like that together. It'd be incredible. And any good Resident Evil stories, maybe visiting Capcom or Silent Hill. This is going to become story time, these EPN plays, isn't it? Me trying to remember all of these weird experiences that I've had. Emperor's Tomb? Yes, Chris Wynn came up just as I was thinking it. Emperor's Tomb. Bob was the art director on Emperor's Tomb. Excellent Xbox game. I think it's out there for other platforms, but you can play it on Xbox Series X. I think you can. I think it was a free game actually on Xbox Live Gold. Okay. Anyways, let's play Kingdoms of Amalur. And somebody asked a great question. Resident Evil memories. I can remember we visited Capcom in the States, and I think Jade did the interview
from the beginning.
And we had Jose and some other people dress up as zombies that came out. I think Jade. It was either Jade or
the mistakes we have made.
Oh my God, I'm blanking on names. I'm sorry, guys. I got so many names in my head right now.
Awakened to new magic. Perhaps we should have foreseen.
I can't remember, but we had a big zombie battle that happened, and I remember Foobs dressed up in a zombie outfit and zombie makeup and everything, and he was incredible. He gave it his all. Vic being a dad, and my daughter just became a huge Super Mario fan, and I found myself having a blast with her playing the game I grew up with. When did you have your full circle moment with Ruby? Oh man, that's a great question, Johnny.
He was all that they were not. Aggressive,
ambitious,
visionary. He had power like none we had ever seen. Terrible and deadly.
We played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild together. Almost and 100 hours or something like that. Not every minute she played with me, but she played a huge chunk of that game with me, guiding me and pointing me in the direction. And so she was 5. I think that's when she really transformed into a real fan of games. I think she appreciated games early, and you know, I would be playing and she would come and hang out. If the game was appropriate, she would watch. We actually played through Twilight Princess together, and she really liked that as well. And I recognize that the stories and the content within these games were really registering for her.
How could we stand
blowing all of the story stuff here. Apologies to anybody that's wanting to watch any of this. But we went to a craft fair, so this is prior to Breath of the Wild coming out. So Breath of the Wild was like another level. That was like, oh my God, I'm playing my favorite game I've ever played with my kid, and we're experiencing this together, and it was profound, all of it. But Ruby, my kid, understood the power of the storytelling in games through Twilight Princess, and she played a little Wind Waker. Wind Waker freaked her out. She would actually, she was quite young when I showed it to her, and she would, even though it's cartoony, there's some scary stuff, and she would ask me to stop. No, I don't want to play it. I don't want to play it, so I'd stop it. But we played all the way through Twilight Princess, and she would walk away if things got too scary for her. But we went to this craft fair, and she recognized Link and Zelda and a lot of other characters and artwork from the Zelda universe. You know, you go to these craft fairs, everybody's honoring stuff that they love, and there was all the Zelda art, and she was naming them all, and she must have been 3.5, 4, walking by saying, "Oh, it's Link, doesn't it?" And it blew the minds of the people that were selling everything. And that was a very proud dad moment for me, too. It was like, oh, my God, she's really resonating with, as anybody would, you know? This is the thing about games, and we all know this here, is that it's the best entertainment that we have created as human beings. But not everybody knows that. And I think we all feel a little territorial about it. That's why, and the games industry is great at creating animosity and clubhouses. But when people do start to see how cool games are, they're all in, you know, and more and more and more people have been doing that. But I know, like all of you, I'm sure, whenever we're around friends or family that show an appreciation or a desire to learn more, it's almost like it's like you're sharing something with them, you know, and it's really cool. And I got to kind of experience that with my kid. But now she is all in on Roblox and Animal Crossing, and she plays a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And we've done some reviews. If you're new to the channel and haven't checked out some of the reviews and some of the vids that we've been doing over the last 5 years, you should check some of them out. I have reviewed some things like Gris with my daughter, Yoshi's Crafted World. And she's not on camera, but I've recorded her and cut her into the stuff, and it's just awesome. I'm just gonna randomly jump in there. So it was either Julie, Stouffer, or Jade. I was trying to think who I was working with back then, doing the Resident Evil thing at Capcom US, and we had zombies running through the parking lot and through the office. Sometimes we would get in trouble. Doing crazy things in these offices, but that was a lot of fun. That was super fun. What I loved was
a human.
Foob's total commitment.
Our main, by the look of him, you know how you can tell. Turn him over.
I 100% agree with that, Chris Wynn. I just wrote an article about that actually on the Toy Book, which is a toy industry magazine. They've asked me to contribute, and my first article was about how we've just transitioned to a new generation of video game machines and video game entertainment, and now Hollywood is coming, you know, with all of these massive films like Uncharted and the Last of Us show. Sonic the Hedgehog was a huge hit. Pokemon Detective Pikachu was super big as well. So. Sure, I'll erase all this later. I play it for real. I believe that, yeah, I think people are going to really connect with these characters and these stories, and they're going to want to learn more. And we're going to get into billions of people really in tune with what's going on in games. Just like everybody's kind of in tune with, like, sort of side characters in the Marvel. Like, who outside of comic nerds really knew, and that's not meant to be derogatory, who really knew anything about the Vision or Scarlet Witch? You know, now the whole world knows. And I think something similar to that is about to happen with video games. Foobs is an awesome streamer. How's it going, Tyler Fisher? Good to see you. This is looking great so far, by the way. I mean, it's all cut sequence stuff. Chris Wynn, the fact that Pedro Pascal, who's probably got his pick of projects, especially based off of the goodwill that he generated on Mandalorian, went with the prestige of The Last of Us on HBO. That's what he went with. That's his choice. Oh, that was weird. We had a double head thing going on right there. Oh, it says Kingdoms. I was writing so fast, Miss Ojad. I'll fix that. Can I fix it now? Can I fix it while I'm live? Let me fix that, because that's weird. It does. Amateur. That's crazy. That's autocorrect for you. Boom. I fixed it live. I always worry that if I type anything in or that I'm going to crash everything, but everything's okay. All right, so let's go running around as in Kingdoms of Amalur. Let me play for a minute here because people have been patient while I've been running on a tangent, not paying attention to this game at all. Rusty time, or Rusty Sword, here we go. Let's check out. This was such a cool game when I played it back in the PS3 era, I believe. Can't even remember how long ago that was. But it was really impressive. It was much bigger and much more ambitious than I expected it to be. So it's an old game, right? It's been around for a decade plus. I don't... somebody tell me when this thing came out. 2005? 2007? So it's been around for a long time. So it should run quite well on the Switch. But of course, everything's been enhanced a little bit. It's already come out on the other platforms and the PC. Played it on the PC, it ran great. This is actually looking really good on the monitor, but it's super dark on the stream. Yeah, it's super dark, isn't it? Let me boost the brightness up for you guys. That's better. Okay. Oh, it's super blown out for me, but it looks better for you guys. I believe, right? Let me know if it's too... 2012. Okay, wow. So it's only a decade. Okay. Yeah, but still, it's been around for a decade. So it you know, was the game that put 38 Studio or Studio 38 or something out of business. There were all kinds of loans and tax breaks and incentives, and it was really a big mess. But the game turned out really fun.
More mortal scum?
And what I recall about the game, playing it back then, World of Warcraft was huge right around that time. And this kind of reminded me of like an epic sprawling WoW type game. But it was all single player, you know, like the world at its time, it's not quite open world, but it's huge. It was very impressive back then.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And everything was voiced, lots of different characters.
Wait.
You've acquired the armor. Okay, let's skip this.
It worked. By the dome, it worked. Well, we
What
must
happened
get
to
you
me?
Professor Hughes right
Who is
away.
Hughes?
He'll have Professor, take these. They'll help keep you safe long enough to get to Hughes.
Where
He'll
is
be in his
Hughes?
study on the ground floor of the tower. At least, I hope he's there.
The turmoil around the game tarnished the game's launch. Absolutely, Sam, I am 111. Okay, goodbye.
Let me get this door. We can be on our way. Right this way. You go first.
Okay, so put some old boots on. Here we go. Armor. No one would mistake this for Cyberpunk. Okay, I'm gonna put my worn leggings on and my old boots. There we go. Okay. This was all pretty, you know, robust and mind-blowing. I think I played it on PS3. Could have been Xbox 360, but it was a lot of great little details, lots of looting, kind of, you know, gets its Diablo hooks into you. The action was pretty strong, pretty fun. I'm noticing some chop in the play. That's not on the stream. That's the actual game is chugging a little bit. All right, let's see if I can put some better stuff on here. So I have battered armor. Oh, I see. Ragged leggings or worn leggings? Okay. All right.
This is what they're after. Our greatest invention. The Well of Souls. Imagine an end to hope.
Better
An
mechanics than
end to death.
Cyberpunk. Hilarious. Johnny McFly, I'd love a new Splinter Cell game. That was an incredible series. We got to visit UB Montreal when they were putting the first one together. I think Jeff did a segment on Splinter Cell way back then, where he infiltrated and took out security cameras and stuff. It was really fun. I'm the gun show, right, Emilio? They modeled my arms. They put them right into the game. It's amazing.
In one of the storerooms. See if you can find anything useful.
I I see a chest and it's glowing. Perhaps it's in there. Take all. Let's see. So I have to put some gloves on. There we go. Who needs sleeves? Sleeves are for punks. Items. I got my lockpicks. Okay. Stranglehold was really fun. That was a crazy game. Sure missed the Midway Chicago group. I mean, a lot of that energy lives on in other studios, but God, Midway was awesome. I think it's a great opportunity for them to make another Deus Ex, but I think they're so overly committed to Avengers, they don't have the team to be able to make a new Deus Ex yet. I think there's some more Marvel stuff coming, actually, after Avengers as well from Square Enix and Eidos Montreal. Right, let's see what we have here. Shield, there we go.
Wait, do you hear something? More to Arthur!
Oh, I can block too. This is running pretty good. So, I mean, it's not... last time I played it was on a pretty powerful PC and it was just butter. But, it's looking pretty good. I want to check this out in handheld mode. It's a surreal thing to play this as this massive game as a handheld experience.
That one had a bow. Get it?
This might actually be a very good fit for this game because it's been around, right? Okay, so now I have a longbow. So I have my dual weapon. There we go. And what is it? Okay, consumables. Let's map the slot. What is it? Here we go. Minor healing potion. Great.
Archers up ahead. Best shoot them before they see us.
Okay. That's pretty cool. It's weird to not use the left trigger button to aim. Deus Ex designer Warren Spector talked about why he wouldn't make the game today. I'm constantly amazed how accurate our view of the world ended up being. Frankly, it freaks me out a bit. Warren's awesome. That's fun. That's awesome. That's Miss Ojat with the great comment there. Am I going the wrong way? I think I am here. Human augmentations coming soon. Ariane Dehestani. I think they're here already, aren't they? We have scientists using CRISPR to genetically modify people. It's going to be an interesting couple decades, my friends. I hope we can all figure out this climate change debacle.
More up ahead. If you can sneak up on them with your daggers, you should be able to finish them quickly and quietly.
All right, here we go. Yeah, this is cool. It'll be interesting to see how well this does, but gosh, I really am appreciative of THQ going back to some of these classics and finding a way. So, all right. There was no Q. Nosferatu wants a mind eye augmentation.
Look at the mortal vermin scatter.
How? Oh no, I don't want that. Yeah, it's a little chunky, but there's a lot going on. Okay, so take that. Do I want to go down there? Oh, I can't go down there. Okay, so take the gold. There we go. Did I get the gold? I got the gold, but not the bag. Okay.
Cave blossoms only respond in the presence of magic.
Welcome to
Perhaps they're
Gattaca.
more evil
Yeah.
than it seems.
That was an amazing movie. I heard there's not much or any changes in this Re-Reckoning game compared to the original. Nothing wrong with it, though, since the original was good, Miss Ojap. The original is very good. Are you talking about this Switch version or in general with the remake in general? Okay. So hold R to access my abilities.
Incredible. What are you?
Yeah, this is a cool game. Okay, where are we going? What do I got to do? Did I get past the box jumps and crash? I don't know, because they're ever present. Little chunky, yeah. I don't know if we're going to be saying that forever, though, Babin K. I think the Super Switch is going to change things around. I'm continuing to call it Super Switch. I hope it comes true.
Maybe you can use that staff to burn a path through.
Oh, I have a staff. Yeah. Let's use the staff, guys. I have better armor. Okay. Yeah, Nosferatu, I actually was thinking about that, about doing some of these FPS frames per second upgrades on the Bethesda games today. But I've been playing Cyber Shadow, and then I reached out to Tribute after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing came out, and I said I'd really like to check out Panzer Paladin on the Switch, and asked if they'd send me a code, and they did. And then I thought, okay, well, this has just come out, and Crash has just come out, so let's check all of those out on the Switch. But maybe next week what I'll do is stream some Xbox Series X. I wouldn't mind checking out Squadrons. I think next week will be an Xbox Series X stream. We'll check out some of these improvements, these 60. I can only get up to 60 frames per second, unfortunately, on the tech that I have. But we can take a look at the enhancements and improvements. I'd like to go back and check out Prey again, and Dishonored as well. Love those games. Well, I loved the Dishonored games. I didn't love Prey, but if it's a whole new game, I'd like to check it out again. Just set up a Commodore 64. Oh, you did? Oh, that's awesome. You've got a Commodore 64 and a 128 in your little retro museum. It's great to be 13 again with more disposable income. Do you think that's what it is? I'm actually doing a little thing on retro gaming, and I don't know if it's just so much about nostalgia and trying to engage our youth, or is it a realization that some of those classic experiences are still valuable and worth enjoying today. And I wonder if some of that decision is that you want to go back and finish some stuff that has been in your catalog or on your shelf for a long time. And so much new stuff takes its influence from some of these classic games. Like, there is a direct line, and we talked about this in the when I had Yacht Club on Vic's Basement. There's a direct line from Batman on the NES to Cyber Shadow. And when you play Cyber Shadow, and I just did Batman on the NES for Vic's for Side Scroll and Superheroes on the channel here, it really feels like connective tissue, And so I think a lot of people are playing retro games because they're still fun today, And I would hazard to guess that more people play classic stuff or backlog stuff or back catalog stuff than people watch old movies, I don't think a lot of people spend a lot of time today because we are inundated with entertainment choices, but I don't think a lot of people dig into the old 1970s movies on Netflix or Amazon. I don't know. I don't have the stats on that, but I feel like people go back into 1980s and 90s games quite often today.
He's directly ahead in his study. Just keep going.
THQ Nordic has done a great job at bringing these older games to a newer generation of players. And there's all these remakes and redos like that, right? Like Destroy All Humans. Great point, Sam I Am 111. You think, Peter Kokosar, I think Vic got mad when I said that Tommy was the older brother on. I don't know the Goldbergs, Peter. I don't remember getting mad about that. Vic's stance on retro gaming is why Retro Gamer magazine is so interesting. Nintendo Boy 17. Retro games are amazing. I mean, I've been having so much fun with the 16-bit stuff and the 8-bit stuff that I've been looking at. Yeah, I love it. I don't think it's just rose-colored glasses. I think it's the root of the play is still really fun, and there's still lots to mine and lots to experience there. Oh, no worries, Peter. NES Friday the 13th is still too hard for me. I'll tell you what, it doesn't get any easier when you get older. Yeah, some of those old games that were hard then, harder now, as a matter of fact. There you go, Daniel Pacheco with the great comment. Never a big RPG fan, but loving Chrono Trigger now. And that's the other thing, too, is that sometimes the way that the game comes into your life, it needs to kind of correspond with what you're open to, right? And we are never one thing for our whole life, and our tastes change like crazy. So it's great to go back and check these things out. I have been playing a bunch of retro handheld stuff with the screen mode alone. You can do to most systems is such an improved, great experience, not to mention so many great games. I would love to go back into some of my old handhelds and refresh the screens and dig up those old cartridges. I've got a lot of those. Don't have the time, though.
The pursuit of immortality. And you're my first success. If we only had the time. There's so much we might learn from one another.
Oh, we're getting into the retro content in the chat. I love this. Solitaire wants epics games like Summer, Winter, and World Games. Pit Stop. Oh, my God. I have Pit Stop on my links.
Too much to explain.
Incredible.
The Dwarf have come to stop my work, but
Adrian Leon has Chrono Trigger for the DS. Yeah, I think that there's something ever present about these franchises. Not only the monetary, win of revisiting characters and worlds that we're familiar with, but there is something because we play them, right? We inhabit these worlds, whether they're two-dimensional or three-dimensional. And I think there's something different there. Like, I know when we watch old movies and old shows, there is this sheen off of them, and we find them charming or maybe reprehensible in some of their cultural stances or whatever. But there's a remove. I don't think that same remove exists in classic games once you get into it a little bit. I think classic games are probably more akin to classic music in a way, where it's like you can appreciate the artistry today from stuff that was crafted 50 years ago and still have an emotional reaction to it. And I'm being very general because there's obviously a lot of movies 50, 60 years old that are still incredibly powerful, and TV shows. But I think there are also, as time marches on, there's this kind of quaint quality about that kind of content. But that it's not the same with games. I don't know what's happening here. I'm hearing somebody cry or something. Oh, I gotta kill this guy. He's just hanging out. He's playing tiddlywinks or something. Well, let me come and kill you with my fire staff. Sucks for you. Okay. What is that sound? That's a weird sound.
Get moving, you brute.
Bayou Billy, Section 8Z. Love it. What is that? That's a weird sound. I have not heard of Omor, Miss Ojap. Was it this guy? Okay. Pretty good, man. Pretty, you know, action-packed. A lot of stuff going on. I mean, we've seen people pick up the torch and do much better than this since this game, but it's a 10-year-old game. Pretty damn solid. Ah! So I've got an auto lock on this thing. Do I? I'm not sure. Smack him in the butt. Okay, let's get some of this. I'm gonna see if I have any better equipment. Let's see. No better weapons. What is this? 9 fire damage, rusty longsword. Oh yeah, that's the thing that's... Okay, I've got all the good stuff. I can get better armor, maybe? Let's see. I like auto-equip, where you just get the best stuff. I know people like to obsess about specific details, but auto-equip, I always appreciate it. Whoa! Yeah, this is fun. This is still training mission stuff. We haven't even exited the dungeon yet, which is when the game really starts going. I think after this guy. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh yeah, this is post God of War. So quick time events. And it was M-rated. Oh yeah, that's great. Let's loot the rock troll. Alright. That was cool. Epic 10 years ago. Cool today. Skate Soup. Yeah, I checked it out last year on one of the laptops that I was reviewing, and it was really impressive to dig back in. I've been waiting for this Switch port. And so far, so good. Blew my mind, too, when it came out originally. And Sam I Am 111 had the great comment that all of the turmoil and struggles that were happening around the studio and the baseball player that was involved there, I forget his name, didn't help this game. What can I pick? Yeah, let's pick Alchemy. There we go. Oh. And we are going to do brutal weaponry. No, what's this? Oh. Cool. Just kind of whipping through this a little bit. Put a ring on. And now I'm out in the world.
No more.
Kind of a Fable-esque kind of vibe to this as well. Not as, lighthearted. But this real-time magic wielding and combat and sort of, missions and objectives and stuff that just sort of pop up as you're cruising into the world. Such a fun game. Kurt Schilling. That's right, Ariane. Drybone Jones. 100%. Retro TMNT. Can't wait. Side-scrolling superheroes. Who knew I'd be talking about a new one in 2021? So great. That's what I wanted. I keep bugging all of them, DC and Marvel and the Konami. I've actually talked to folks at Konami. It's like, yeah, I've been reviewing a lot of these side-scrolling superheroes you used to make. You should bring them back. When are you going to do that? That's my voice when I talk to people at E3.
You're the one? How did you come back? How did you find me here?
Oh, Las Vegas, that's awesome.
When I saw you with Edsel in the well, I ran. But the Well of Souls is bigger than just one gnome's pet project.
Sam I Am 111. That would make Ed Annunziata very happy if Sega did that.
Money on the side. But
I don't
know how the wife have found.
Pay me and you'll live.
I don't want.
Oh. So I often don't have the patience, and I kill the little dwarves that I talk to when I just want to have a conversation with them. That's right. This is what made me feel like it was World of Warcraft. Is these beautiful animals and the beautiful. You guys remember playing World of Warcraft that first time, and it's just all open, and there's beautiful trees and little particles in the air, and it's kind of cartoony looking. That's what I got out of this. But of course, this is much more aggressive and violent, and every once in a while they throw in the gore to get that M rating. Oh, I came from here. Okay. Here we go. Hello from Tokyo. Oh my God. How you doing, Travis? Good to see you. And I have always appreciated your enthusiasm. That's awesome. I'll tell you what. I'm enthusiastic to get back to Japan. That was the last international. Well, that's not true. I went to Disneyland just before the pandemic and the shutdown. But in November of 2019, I was in Tokyo, and it was a wonderful trip. And went to Osaka, visited SNK, visited, oh my God, the Bayonetta people, Platinum.
You've come from the tower,
that was just insane. It was so
Name's
fantastic.
Agar. Maybe you can help an old Fate Weaver, eh?
What's a Fate Weaver?
Fate Weavers look at the great tapestry of fate. The threads will tell us how a life will unfold. But knowing the future and being able to change it are two very different things.
Heg sent me to find you.
Did he? Poor old Fomerus Hughes. He respected the way the world works. What a shame. He's probably dead by now.
Yeah, good call out, Miss Ojat. Yes, you should all make it to Japan. It's an amazing country.
He asked me if they'd ever be successful. The cards told me that the Well of Soul... The old man took it pretty well, honestly. Although we did a lot of drinking after that.
Can you give me some help?
A little help in memory of Hughes, or in celebration of his success. Whichever. You really don't know much, do you?
I have played River City Girls. It's excellent. Next time you come to Japan, you have to visit Universal Studios Japan and take a tour of Nintendo World. You know I will, Travis. Have you been already? Have you ever seen Critical Role series involving voice actors like Matt Mercer, Laura Bailey, Travis Williams, and Dungeons & Dragons? I know about it. I haven't watched it, and mostly it's because I haven't made time in my life to really play D&D. I would really like to. Sam Witwer would just be rolling his eyes at me right now. But I certainly appreciate it, and I know that that show is awesome. I also know that I talked to Jeff. I'm terrible with names right now. With Jeff about Dungeon Run as well. Jeff Kanata, about Dungeon Run. And I don't think that's running anymore, but that also sounded amazing too. I don't know, Jeff Meacham. I don't know. The last E3 was really not sounded great. When it was going to be open to the public and they were going to be like all chasing the influencers to come, and it was going to be like, I don't know. It just, and nobody was going. It didn't sound great to me, I like what Jeff pivoted to with the Summer of Games stuff that was going on last year. I'll be talking about I think the Square Enix thing is tomorrow, but it feels like the company, and I like what Capcom did with Resident Evil. Okay, we're gonna keep holding. Here we go. I'm liking all of these different, video events that people can put on together, and they can package them really well. Lifting a page out of Nintendo's playbook. There we go. Got to get that M rating. Hey Vic, now with the new Xbox acquisition of Bethesda, do you think there's going to be a lot of cross-pollinations with the games in the future? Like, that's a big, like, how are exclusives going to be impacted? Or are we going to start to see, like, kind of a new console war, but it's going to be a subscription war? I guess that's what we're seeing in other entertainment right now, isn't it?
What? How? What? The threads you just changed.
That's a very good question. Because it's going to accounts more than it is to physical media. And so, I think there's going to be a big fight with these companies to get people to sign up on a monthly subscription, because that sort of known entity of X amount of money coming in every month is better than let's risk everything and we'll try to invest in this game and hopefully it will sell. And that's what Xbox is discovering right now. That's what Netflix learned a long time ago. And Disney Plus is doing that right now too, and they're going to be investing like they've never done before in terms of content. So gaming is probably going to be something similar. So there probably will be a constriction of studios that are agnostic. I mean, we saw Next Level's been bought by Nintendo. They haven't really done anything outside of Nintendo for a long time, but certainly the option for them to create for other companies was there. Insomniac sold to PlayStation. That is an enormous deal, guys. The Insomniac selling, I said this at the time, but that was something I didn't know was, I mean, I was at Insomniac interviewing Ted about that very subject in 2019. And, the idea was not in the cards then. But clearly, Sony made it worth their while. It was it's the smartest move that, and it was all based on the success of Spider-Man. Clearly, So, yeah, I think that there's going to be more of that. I mean, the rumor is that Xbox is going to have another huge one pretty soon here. I don't know what I'm doing. I think we're good, actually. I don't know where I'm at right now. I haven't been paying attention. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very fascinating new decade of games. And Xbox Game Pass, man, it's not just me talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. They're being incredibly aggressive. And I think everybody else is going to be playing that similar kind of strategy soon, because all other media is like that right now, whether it's working or not, because there's a lot of artists that are feeling really left out in the cold through streaming technology, for sure. I think it's just the way that it is. Like, we are moving into this buffet kind of reality where you have subscriptions everywhere and you can choose to enjoy all of this material any way that you want to. Anyways, huge topic, huge subject. I need to have some guests on Vic's Basement soon to talk about this kind of thing and the ramifications and the responses that, I mean, the fact that Sony's investing in Jade's company, that we announced that yesterday. We talked about that yesterday. That's really significant too. Like, Sony's not done buying studios or paying for studios. I think we're going to hear some really big announcements all year about this kind of thing. And then butted up against that is whatever Nintendo's going to be doing to show off that they've got hardware that, developers won't have to struggle to port things to. Yeah. All right. That's going to do it for our stream today, though, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for the super chats. You guys are incredibly generous and very kind. Thank you for the thumbs up and the comments. If you're watching this delayed, I've been kind of looking at Wednesdays as the day that I'm going to stream. I'll do live rundowns followed by a live EPN plays. I have the best chat on the internet, and these people are incredible, and I'm so grateful that you're all here. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the kind comments and the kind words. Thank you to our EPN members. We will see you tomorrow with a brand new rundown, and until then, play forever.